Arthur Schopper and I...
Don't touch it.
Just keep it rolling.
Well, I met Arthur Schopper through his writing ability. He writes wonderful, thoughtful, stretching your thinking articles that you need to know, and you want to know, and you didn't know you needed to know. So when I read 2 or 3 of his articles, I thought, this is great. And then I found out he lived in the South Bay. Oh, that's great. So then things happened, and it turns out he's involved with the Torrance Lomita Republican Assembly to a degree, and at that time, this was a few years ago. And then he was calling for a protest against Target corporate turning women's bathrooms also into men's bathrooms. And dressing rooms as well. And I experienced that. When I wanted to try on a couple of pairs of pants at Target, they said, go over there where the girls and kids place is at to change your clothes. And I go, you're kidding.
Yeah.
So I went over there, and all these kids and girls are there, and I'm going, this isn't right. I feel weird. But I needed the pants. And I didn't think about it deeply enough. So I changed, it was a full length, well, it might have been full length door, but it's kind of creepy. I didn't dare step out with my new pants on and look in the full length mirror to check it out. I just thought, okay, it worked. And I was kind of embarrassed, and I thought, this could be really creepy. And sure enough, what happened was Arthur was talking about this like a week later. So I joined him in a protest, and protesting in front of Target about this. The irony is, I think about 4 weeks later, I was called up to go to serve, to see if I was going to be serving as a jurist in Long Beach for the jury. And so I was called up there, and it turned out to be they called me up from the big group into the next group to be chosen to be on the jury. And so here we are all in a courtroom with the judge, with the prosecutor, with the defender, with the perpetrator. The victim wasn't there. They don't have to be there. Wow, that's weird. So in a roundabout way, they told the story, and it turns out there was a application that the male wanted to date a female, and I think it involved some money. But when it came time to pay, he discovered that the female was not a female, and he struck out at the person who was taking his money. That's illegal, but nothing happened to the person who was perpetrating that. But something was happening to this gentleman because he assaulted, and it was assault and battery. So there was a big case about this. All this, and I am going, really? 20 years ago, they would have said, get away from here at the police station. It's no big deal. Unless you want to go to jail, we'll arrest you for prostitution. That didn't happen anymore. They also, so when it came time to interview me, they said, what political affiliation are you with, and what project have you done? Yeah. You can guess what I just happened to mention, that I was protesting that at Target, and they said, whoop, don't say anymore. I was out of there as fast as they could get rid of me. Wow. Strange, isn't it? But he's been active here. Arthur Schopper has been active in many ways, and his newest project, actually his second newest project, is MassResistance, to bring awareness throughout the state of California about the underhandedness of the LGBT community and what's going on that's really affecting families and our whole society. And I appreciate him doing that. But now he's chosen also another path. He's going to be running for assembly in the 66th district. He can't talk long about that, but he can talk long about that with you personally, but I want to call him up here and say thank you for doing a terrific job, Arthur Schopper. For all the things that I mentioned, as an activist, we traditionally in the Republican Party do not have someone being an activist. Someone who speaks out, someone who takes on the blows and the insults and the physical confrontations, the verbal confrontations. We have to fight back. They're fighting us. If we don't fight back, we're losing. And because of Arthur Schopper, we're winning a little more now. And I want to congratulate you, Arthur, for doing that.
Can I say a few things too?
Yes, go right ahead.
I really appreciate this. Last time I got an award, I think was in high school. You know, and I think it was like, you know, either showing up. I got an award. It was in high school. I was a teacher, and it was because I wasn't absent for the semester. And I wasn't absent because I never trusted the substitutes. That's the only reason why. If I could, I would have been absent at least a week every month. So I really appreciate this. It really does mean a lot to me. I mean, the Torrance Lomita Republican Assembly, I have connected with so many of you. You've been activists as well. You've either followed my lead or I've been inspired by you because you've spoken out at your city council meetings or at school boards. You know, Perry, the stuff that you do is really incredible. He's helped me so much with MassResistance. Sandy, thank you, especially when we were there in Redondo Beach fighting other issues. And James was there with me at the Torrance Library Commission when we wanted to stop a drag queen story hour before it ever started. You know, and some people go, you know, Arthur, why are you picking this fight? This is a fight that we can't win. You know, MassResistance got that, we got that kind of a message in 1993 when Brian Kamaker, our president, started finding that his kids were pretty much getting pornography shoved in their faces as sex ed. This has been going on in New England for more than 20 years. We're now starting to deal with it today. And the fact is, this is a fight we can't not fight anymore. Okay, they're pushing all kinds of trash on our kids. It's harming children. This transgenderism, it's not just a disorder now, but it's, you have parents who are more interested in appearing woke than doing what's best for their children. Yeah. And it's just sickening. You know, Keith Hardeen, he's an activist and he's a part of the TLRA in South LA, Inglewood. And he says to me, you know, Arthur, you're the only one who speaks out boldly against this LGBT agenda. I was the president of the Beach Cities Republicans, and the county party with its previous leadership didn't want to touch this issue or others, and rather than face the culture war, they took away the charter for our club. But we didn't stop fighting, our numbers actually grew. I had a donor sat down with me and had dinner and said, you must be doing something right because the county party took your charter away. That's how bad it's gotten in the state of California. And I've been in cities like Downey, Cudahy, Chula Vista, California, which is probably is a very democratic area. There was an 85% opposition to allowing a drag queen to read to children in a library. This is a signature issue that the state party should be running on, right up there with the gas tax, right up there with the environmental terrorism being forced on us, and right up there with the Trump derangement syndrome, which is ignoring every issue that we're worried about, and all they want to do is pick a fight with Washington. And we are winning this fight. MassResistance is winning. This is an issue that at people's gut, they know this is wrong. No, you don't tell a boy he can become a girl. No, you shouldn't be teaching children they can sleep with whomever they want to, and there's no consequences. I still remember I was meeting with Sandy and Chris at their home, and just the visceral outrage that Sandy had. I'm angry that they think it's okay to let a boy go into a girl's bathroom. You know, I'm angry too. And I'm really upset. Man. You know, it's just, you know, we're talking about like for the schools, even for that, and even also today in the Target and other locales too. It's like, and we've had the vast majority of us be bullied into silence.
Well, that takes away our girls' freedom.
So let me finish first, and then I want to hear you ask a question. You know, but that's the kind of outrage that she's got and other people have. I've been able to channel it in deep so-called blue areas. Downey, we have parents outraged, speaking out. We've even re-registered voters. They've gone from Democrat to Republican just on this issue. So you think, last of the full disclaimer, Mass Resistance is nonpartisan. We've worked with registered Democrats. You may be surprised, but even in New York City, there are registered Democrats on city councils that are pro-family and pro-life, because you can't win as a Republican, sadly. That's a different question for a different discussion. But I mean, we are fighting this, and we fight it tooth and nail. We call these perversions. We don't call it an alternate lifestyle. We don't just play, you can have your religious liberty, you can have your sexual perversion, just let us have our religious liberty. It's not working. We tried that. 30 years ago, we were told, let us have our perversion in the bedroom and you can just have your liberty. 30 years later, where are we now? Gay pride parades, your kids have to learn about it. They got to learn about all the gay historical figures, including Harvey Milk, who was a pederast who raped children, as if this is a historical figure.
Which they ignore.
And which they suppress. In libraries, they allow sex offenders. It was our organization that discovered not one but 2 sex offenders in Houston and a 3rd in Austin. And every one of these drag queens follows pornography, promotes sex work as a trade on social media. Where's the outrage? We're bringing it, and we supply it for the community at large. I'm meeting with pastors in Hawthorne. Hawthorne is so blue, it's 9% Republican. But there are now 3 Republicans on the city council. If we make the issues and we care about the heartbeat of the people, they respond to it. And they're not just worried about taxes. They're not just worried about gas taxes or their income tax. They care about their culture. And they need a party that will speak to it. And you guys have given me that platform. I could speak on these issues. You don't shut me down. You don't silence me. You don't say, no, Arthur, we can't win that fight, so let's shut up about it. No, it's a fight we have to fight. And it's a fight we're winning. And I like saying that. We're winning. This isn't just my award. You've helped big time. And you've broadened our base. We have an LA County Mass Resistance that's making the difference, as well as in San Diego. So with that, room for a few questions. I know you got a tight schedule.
2 questions, please.
Because I don't want to forget about railing. If there's any questions, go ahead. Or Sam, you have a comment you want to make really quick? Go ahead.
Just keep us in the loop on this. We have future protests, and hopefully we can, rally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's happening with the Torrance Library Commission?
So I can tell you the good news about that. The Library Commission, they weren't used to seeing 8 people showing up at a commission meeting on this issue. And they didn't even want to accept my documents about this, which was a full-on violation of the Brown Act. But I fought back. The city attorney got involved and rebuked the commission and said, you need to accept whatever they give you. They didn't want to touch it. I started, we're sending the word out at least and doing something preemptively. And that's been effective. My larger goal is I want to go after the Board of Supervisors, because whether you know it or not, we even have a Republican, quote unquote, on the Board of Supervisors with Catherine Barger, but all 5 of them endorsed on the official Twitter feed a drag queen story hour in the different county libraries.
And who's
We have the roads are not repaired. We have public sector pensions that are busting the budget in our county. We have sex abuse happening in the jails. And they want to put drag queens in libraries? This is what they're focusing on? And we're sounding the alarm on this. We've scared the drag queen away from the West. We had people protesting in West Valley, in Los Angeles. They didn't bring it back. I can tell you, even in LA County, we're having victories. They didn't bring back the drag queen programs in West Valley. They didn't bring it back in Eagle Rock because we put them on the front page news for NBC. We exposed it. One of the anchors actually went after the drag queen and said, would you please tell us, what's your real name? Has there been a background check done? LA City library officials had to sit before a camera and try to justify this. And they haven't brought it back. That's in LA County. So if we can stop it here, we can win this fight. And we're winning it here in one of the bluest counties in the country. So we should fight this fight and win it, and we are. And I appreciate this award, recognizing that we're winning this fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Arthur's available later to talk about him campaigning for the Assembly District 66, and I want to thank you because we don't have a lot of time.
I get it. Thanks for giving me the time you did.
Thank you very much.